Kagame's leadership, a proven blueprint for Africa's rising generation. We must own our problems and own the solutions. The continent's future depends on leaders who don't wait for miracles but plan, act, and deliver. Kagame said. In the scarred heart of Africa, where rivers once ran red and cries echoed unanswered, Rwanda's rebirth stands as an African testimony, not of luck but leadership. The year 1994 left the nation a skeleton of itself. Burnt homes, orphaned hills, silent churches, and rivers clothed with grief. And yet, from this valley of dry bones rose a nation of purpose. From the battlefield to the nation's soul, Kagame's first battlefield wasn't just military, it was moral. When the world abandoned Rwanda, he crossed back from exile, not to settle scores, but to stop the bleeding. The Rwandan Patriotic Army, under his command, he did not pillage. It protected. It did not boast. It bore the weight of responsibility. When the genocide was halted, Kagame did not declare victory. He declared duty. He knew that ending war was not the same as building peace. And while others sought comfort in palaces, he sat in empty government offices and began to piece together a nation out of ashes. Our aim was not to replace a regime. It was to replace a mindset, he said once to a returning diaspora group. From a wounded society to a united people. Where others feared retribution, Kagame forged reconciliation. More than 2 million refugees returned home, some guilty, some innocent, all wounded. The prisons were flooded with suspected genocidaries. Hatred hung in the air like smoke after a storm. But instead of revenge, the leadership offered the truth. The Gacaca system, rooted in a community justice, allowed the villagers to face perpetrators and speak the unspeakable. Itorero reconnected youth to culture, discipline, and national identity. Rwanda removed ethnic labels from IDs. In a continent where politicians often win by dividing, Kagame united the people, not by speech, but by system. Being Rwandan is not a tribe, it is a choice. A genocide survivor once said during a summit in Bugesera. From labo to a regional model. Rwanda's transformation was not cosmetic, it was constitutional. In 1994, the country lacked infrastructure and capacity. The only thing that worked well was dysfunction. Yet Kagame demanded order. First of all, himself, then his ministers, then the nation. He did not rely on donors, he relied on discipline. Today, Rwanda ranks among Africa's least corrupt nations. Public workers clocking at 8 a.m. Roads are lit and marked. Plans aren't shelved, they are executed. One minister famously said, "You don't just brief Kagame, you show results or resign." This wasn't about fear, it was about fidelity to national purpose. From illiteracy to innovation. Kagame's vision of education wasn't about blackboards, it was about bandwidth. Rural schools were once mud structures with no chalk. Today, they host coding boot camps and science clubs. With fiber connectivity even in remote towns, digital learning is no longer a privilege. Through TVET programs, students learn plumbing, mechanics, and ICT, not to chase a job abroad, but to create livelihoods at home. At the University of Rwanda, students in Kigali, Huye, and Nyagatare now study biotechnology, artificial intelligence, and climate sciences. In partnership with institutions like CMU and Mastercard Foundation, Rwandan youth are being prepared not for survival, but for leadership in the 21st century. This is not education for passing exams. It is education for passing problems, said a young woman in a rural science fair in Musanze. From isolation to global engagement. Kagame knew Rwanda's location was a challenge, but not a curse. By launching Rwandair, he opened the skies to Rwandans who once spent days traveling to trade or meet partners. Now they connect directly to London, Lagos, and Guangzhou. The Kigali Convention Center is not a vanity project. It's a continental idea lab. Rwanda hosted the Smart Africa Summit, Women Delivery Conference, and the Kigali Global Dialogue, putting Africa issues in African hands. The partnership with Qatar Airways signals strategic diplomacy, not dependence. We didn't build an airline to fly tourists only. We built it so Africans can fly to each other, Kagame once remarked at an AU meeting. From mortality to modern care. Before 2000, Women died in childbirth daily, often in silence. Today, the Mituedo covers more than 90% of citizens. District hospitals are connected by ambulance drones that fly across volcanoes and valleys. Remote health posts use AI-supported diagnostics. Cancer centers are now operational where there were none. From malaria to mental health, Rwanda is showing that health is not a humanitarian favor. It is a citizen's right. A nurse in Nyagatare said, "We don't wait for a call. We respond before it rings." From slums to planned housing. Housing was once informal and ignored. Today, it is dignified and planned. In Batsinda and Vision City, the poor are not pushed out. They are integrated into new, sustainable communities. Green belts separate commercial from residential zones. Clean water and electricity are standard, not luxury. Even rural settlements are being reimagined under imidugudu models with schools, clinics, and roads nearby. Urban chaos was replaced with quiet dignity. We don't need mansions. We need homes with honor, Kagame declared when launching affordable housing in Kinyinya. From division to soft power, some presidents build armies. Kagame also built arenas. The Kigali Arena hosts NBA-level basketball games, music concerts, and cultural events. Rwanda is now Africa's sports diplomacy capital, not by accident, but by strategy. Through branding on Arsenal and PSG jerseys, Rwanda turned tourism into a marketing triumph. Visit Rwanda campaigns went from billboards to boardrooms. Sports are healing trauma, inspiring youth, and branding Rwanda as confident and capable. Sport does not just entertain, it unites, it teaches discipline. The same values we use in rebuilding our country, Kagame told a group of youth athletes. Final word from the Africa We Want magazine. President Kagame has not just governed Rwanda, he has re-engineered African expectations. He has shown that leadership is not about charisma, but consistency. Not about lineage, but delivery. Not about strong men, but strong systems. The world asked, can Africans govern themselves? Rwanda answered, yes, and better than you think.